Have you ever awoken from a sound sleep to discover yourself yelling incoherently? If so, you most definitely are not alone. It's estimated that as many as 7% of the population experiences this phenomenon at least once in their lives. But does screaming in your sleep have a spiritual meaning? Keep watching to discover the 5 most common messages your subconscious might be trying to send you when you scream in your sleep. What does it mean when you scream in your sleep? There are a few different interpretations of what it means when you scream in your sleep. One theory is that you release built-up emotion or tension that you have been holding on to during the day. This can be a way for your subconscious to release stress and anxiety. Another interpretation is that you are receiving a message from the spiritual realm. This could be a warning about something that is going to happen in your life, or it could indicate that someone needs your help. Either way, it is important to pay attention to these messages. If you find that you are screaming in your sleep on a regular basis, it is important to consult a physician or therapist. This could be a sign of an underlying mental health issue that needs to be addressed. Getting help can ensure that you are able to get the rest and relaxation that you need. Spiritual meaning of screaming in your sleep. Here are 5 messages you might receive from the spiritual realm if you scream in your sleep. 1. You are being called to awaken spiritually. Finding yourself screaming in your sleep could be a sign that you are being called to awaken spiritually. Something inside of you is trying to break through and get your attention. Maybe you have been ignoring your intuition, or intuition has been dormant. It's time to begin focusing on the signs and signals around you. Trust your gut instincts, and don't be afraid to follow your heart. 2. You are being called to release something. Screaming in your sleep can also signify that you need to release something. This may be an emotion like anger, fear, or sadness. It could also be a situation or relationship that no longer serves you. It's time to let go of what's not working in order to make space for something new. 3. You are being called to heal something. If you find yourself screaming in your sleep, it could also be a sign that you need to heal something. This may be an emotional wound from the past or a physical issue that needs attention. It's time to face whatever it is head on and take steps towards healing. Don't be afraid to ask for help from others if needed. 4. You are being called to make a change. The spiritual meaning of screaming in your sleep could also signify that you need to make a change in your life. This may be a big change like moving to a new city or starting a new job. Or, it could be a smaller change like making more time for yourself or cutting out toxic people from your life. Whatever it is, trust that it's for your highest good and take the leap. 5. You are being called to connect with your higher self. The last message could also be a sign that you need to connect with your higher self. This is the part of you that knows your true purpose and potential. It's time to quiet the mind and listen to what your heart is telling you. Trust that you are on the right path, and everything will fall into place. How to interpret the messages. There are a few different ways to interpret the messages you receive by the spiritual meaning of screaming in your sleep. One way is to look at the content of your dream. If you were being chased by a monster or running from something scary, your dream could be interpreted as fear that you need to face in your waking life. Alternatively, your dream could be interpreted as a warning from your subconscious mind. Maybe there's something in your life that you're not paying attention to, that could be harmful to you. Another way to interpret the messages you receive when you scream in your sleep is to look at the emotion you feel in the dream. If you feel scared or panicked in the dream, it could be a sign that something is making you feel anxious or stressed in your waking life. Alternatively, if you feel angry or frustrated in the dream, it could be a sign that something is making you angry or frustrated in your waking life. Pay attention to how you feel in the dream and see if there's anything in your waking life that's causing those same emotions. Finally, pay attention to any other symbols or details in the dream that stands out to you. These details could provide additional clues about the message you're receiving. For example, if a monster is chasing you in your dream, pay attention to what the monster looks like. Is it a creature from your worst nightmare? If so, maybe the message is that you need to face your fears. Alternatively, if you're running towards something in your dream, pay attention to what that thing is. Maybe it's a goal you're trying to reach or something you're afraid of. Again, this could provide additional clues about the message you're receiving. How do I stop screaming in my sleep? The first step to take is to track when you are screaming in your sleep. Make a note of the time, day, and any possible triggers. If you can identify a pattern, try to avoid the triggers. For example, if you find that you scream when you dream about spiders, try to avoid watching scary movies before bed. You can also do some things to relax before bed that may help prevent screaming in your sleep. Try taking a warm bath, reading a book, or meditating for a few minutes before bedtime. If you have tried these things and you are still screaming in your sleep, it is important to see a doctor. There may be an underlying medical condition that is causing the problem. Screaming in your sleep can also be a symptom of sleep apnea, which is a serious condition that needs to be treated by a doctor. There are several possible explanations for the spiritual meaning of screaming in your sleep. Still, the most likely explanation is that you are experiencing some sort of stress or anxiety in your life. If this is the case, you can do a few things to try and reduce the amount of stress in your life. First, try to identify the source of your stress and see if there is anything you can do to eliminate it. If not, try to find ways to better deal with the stressors in your life, so that they don't have such a negative impact on you. Finally, make sure to get plenty of rest and relaxation so that your body and mind can recover from the stresses of the day. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, please consider sharing it with your friends and family if you think they might benefit from it. Subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified when the next video is out. We try to cover everything that we thought is important about this topic, but if you think we missed something, or you have a question or anything else, please leave a comment down below. We will try to answer it as soon as we can and to the best of our knowledge.